So here's the problem. You're always trying to find your art style, and you spent countless hours looking for and trying to define what is your art style. I'm here to tell you to stop. You're wasting your time. What if I told you there's only one thing you need to learn to truly find your art style, and it's not what you think it is? Stick around and find out. All right, after about 20 years now of dealing with artists, teaching artists, communicating with artists, collaborating with artists, and a lifetime of being an artist, I've finally come to the realization recently that finding an art style, or trying to find an art style and define it and boil those characteristics of your art style down to one specific thing, is useless. It's a useless pursuit. And I'll tell you why. I've seen so many young artists agonize over finding a style, and they spend so much time comparing themselves to other artists or trying to emulate the styles of other artists. And comparison in art is the thief of all joy and creativity. Do you think Michelangelo sat there agonizing over his art style and trying to find himself and see what his art style was and define it compared to everyone else? No, they didn't. The old masters did not try to find their art styles. In fact, I would argue the more that people try to find their art styles today, and the more time they spend looking at their favorite artists online and trying to emulate or copy or put that down, the worse it gets. The worse the creativity gets. The more diluted the creativity in the art space gets. Because people are trying to chase the same thing. They're trying to define themselves in their art style by comparison to and as a reflection of all the other art styles out there and everything else out there. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some value in actually learning from techniques and styles of other artists. There's great value in studying other artists, what it is about their art that makes it great. Studying those principles, studying the tools they use, studying the techniques they use. Those are all good things in helping develop your fundamentals as an artist. But to actually define your style, you only need to do one thing. And here it is. To truly find your style as an artist, you just need to draw. Like you draw. You need to focus on your fundamentals and improve as an artist. Just draw. Draw what you like to draw. Draw how you like to draw it. Improve where you need to technically. Improve yourself technically. Always a good thing to seek education, improve yourself technically. But you have to stop trying to chase the definition of what you are as an artist, your style, in comparison to everybody else or to others. The key to it is you are an individual. You are unique. You have your own personality. You have your own personal created identity. You have your own view, your own perceptions, and your own skills and your own talents. So just stop trying to find an art style and draw. Draw like you draw. Paint like you paint. Improve you. Improve your abilities. Improve your skills. That's it. Focus on fundamentals. Improve your skills. Okay, learn. Learn how to learn. Learn how to be better. Does that make sense? Learn how to be better at what you do and how you do it and how you like to do it. I'm not saying you can't or shouldn't try other styles. There's nothing wrong with trying other styles, trying other techniques. But stop trying to be someone else and just be you. And your art style will actually develop organically, naturally, because you have something in you that you can create that no one else can. You can draw a line, so can thousands of other people. But the way you draw a line is going to be different than the way thousands of other people draw a line. So if you're always trying to chase that line in the style or way of another person, you're going to miss out on what's important and special about you and how you draw and what you were created to create. Getting caught up in the pursuit of an idyllic style that you think you should have or think you should draw like can be the thief of your creative joy. It can rob you of just the simple joy in the act of drawing, painting, or creating. So just do that. Just enjoy drawing, painting, or creating how you do it. And let it grow organically and naturally. Learn new skills. Seek out education. Seek out growth opportunities for your fundamentals. If you focus on fundamentals and the way you understand those fundamentals and the way you interact with those fundamentals and apply them to your tool and through your creative expression, then your art style will organically come to you. You won't have to look for it. And it may take years. And another dirty secret, you may never actually be able to define a specific art style for yourself. And that's a beautiful thing. If you stop looking for your art style and stop trying to define it and just let it be what it is, let your expression, your creative expression be what it is, then others, the purveyors, the viewers, the enjoyers of your work will see your art style. It's something you won't actually even have to try at. It will be natural because it is actually yours. It is your collection, your collective of the creative skills and inspirations and ideas that you've garnered and gathered. Like your infinity gauntlet as an artist, you will gather these things over time, over practice, over learning and growth, and it will become something that is uniquely yours. I started learning this concept, I guess you could say, as a knife maker. I'm a craftsman from a day job. I tried too hard to define a style for myself or to emulate the other styles of other people and the makers that I really idolized early on in my career. I would look at their work and be like, wow, to be good, I've got to be that. And so I'd try to do that, and it wasn't me. It didn't work. Couldn't do it half the time. And I'd see another maker over here and like, man, I got to be able to look like that to be a maker, to make it, to have made it. And I would try that. I would try that style, or I would try that, that technique or whatever, and I'd try to get that look. I couldn't get there. I couldn't get there because I was chasing something that didn't belong to me. I was looking for something that wasn't mine. Instead of just enjoying the process, gaining technical skills as a craftsman was important. Learning how to construct and build and make knives better, more clean, and more professionally, and more efficiently. But allowing my designs to just kind of organically grow in the way that I liked to do things. And now, after almost 16 years of doing it, I have, without really trying to, established my own visual identity for the body of work that I have as a knife maker. And I've had so many people reinforce that to me throughout the years, be like, hey, I recognize your work. I knew that was yours as soon as I saw it. Because I don't actually put my logo on my knife blades. I don't put it on the front of the blade. I put it on the spine where you can't actually see it. I put my logo on my maker's mark. But I've had so many people like, hey, man, I recognize that. I knew that was yours as soon as I saw it. And I didn't actually do that on purpose, as odd as that may sound. I just found the design style and the characteristics that I liked and the way I like to build and construct my knives, and I just started doing it and enjoying the process. And something just came of it, automatically and organically. The same is true with art, and I've found I've had to temper myself back as an artist in the last few years now, having pressed into it more, having decided to give myself more time to work on my art, where I was spending a lot of time on it in the past, and I would get frustrated because it didn't look like such and such a person's. It didn't look like this, it didn't look like that, and I would get frustrated, and I'd get like, oh man, I wish I could draw better, or do this better, or draw like that. But I had that realization, maybe it's a maturity thing, a few years ago. I was like, you know what? It doesn't actually matter. I'm just gonna draw what I want to draw, how I want to draw it, using the tools I want to use, and I'm just gonna enjoy that, just for the fun of it. And as I did that, I've noticed that I've more relaxed into my own style, that I don't have to define, and I don't have to stick to it. I don't have to say, this is the way I do things and the only way. It's just a style that it develops organically and naturally, and it feels more natural because it is just me expressing myself on the canvas. So that's my encouragement to you. Stop trying to find your art style with all these kitschy exercises and all these, comparisons and emulations, and trying to be like another person or another artist or do this the way they do it or whatever. Don't. You're robbing yourself of what you really have inside of you. You're robbing yourself of something creative and unique inside of you that is individual to you and no one else has. So just draw, and draw what you want to draw, how you want to draw it, where you want to draw it, paint it, whatever. And just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of being an artist, not trying to become one. Just enjoy the process of having a unique identity as an artist and not trying to establish a style. Just establish yourself as an artist in the practice of it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If that makes sense to y'all out there and helps somebody out there and encourages you to create and be free in that creative and be free in that expression as you are created to be, then I hope that helps. Thank y'all for joining me again. Y'all get out there and create and be blessed.